Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make some Lugols Iodine. Okay, it's 5% solution. People keep asking me, how do you make it, John? How do you make it? Because I've made it before. And so I'm just going to show you basically what I'm going to do here. So first of all, you need to get yourself some potassium iodide, okay, and you need 88 grams of that, and you need some iodine crystals, and you need 44 grams of that, so it's half of what you need on your potassium iodide. Okay, so first of all I'm going to weigh it out. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's get the old scales on the boat. What we got here? Okay, so let's tip some of that into there. So we're looking at 88 grams. 79, 82, 84, 86, 87, tiny little bit more. 88. Okay, and for those who, if you want to purchase that, you can go online and get it. Okay, so that's the potassium iodide, so it's 88 grams of that. So what I'm going to do is tip that into a jar. Okay, so you need a good storage jar, and it's got to be a litre or a quart if you're from America. Okay, and then we're just going to add some iodized water, which is distilled water. You can use distilled or reverse osmosis. Never use tap water because of the chlorine, it will kill it off. Okay, so I've got ionized water here, which is distilled water. I'm just going to put some in there for starters. Okay, and then you're going to need 44 grams of iodide crystals. Okay, so be very careful with this because it gets in your skin and all sorts. I'm just going to tip 44 grams in there. Whoops. What I'll do is I'm just going to make that so it doesn't go very far. So just put some of that back in there. And 44. Okay, and then you add that to the solution. So that's 44 grams of your iodine crystals. Just going to tip that into the jar. Okay, so what else we got? So then what we do then, we top it up with the distilled water. So that's enough to make a quart or 1 litre. It's 0.99 of a litre. Okay, that'll do me plenty there. I'm going to use my prepared stick for just giving it a stir up. So you can put the lid on and stir it up if you want, but I'll explain a little bit about the lid in a minute. Hang on. So we just give that a good old stir up. And this is your 5% solution of Lugols Iodine. I mean, you can see the colour of it now. If you want to do a test with it, I'll explain in a second. Hang on. So this is some I've prepared earlier. If you want to do a test to see whether you're iodine deficient, you put a little drip on your skin, on your forearm here. Okay, Just give that a bit of a rubbing. So that's, if you can see that. Okay, you can see the discoloration. Now what happens is, if that disappears under 6 hours, for example, you are iodine deficient. Okay, if it stays on for more than 6 hours and disappears in 8 hours, then you're okay. So basically what I'm saying is, to start with, if you're deficient, you need to put 4 drips, dropper drips, into a glass of water. Okay, again, it's distilled or reverse osmosis water. Do not use tap water. So you want put that on there. Like I said, just keep an eye on that, time it. So for example, that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If that's still on there at 8 o'clock, so then we're looking at 6 hours, and it's starting to fade, then I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. So let me just close this up so that's nicely contained. Okay, and that's the iodine crystals. Alright, if you can read that, see it. Okay, and APC is the company in the UK that I used, if you can see that. Okay, and this is 99.9%, and it's also 99.8% for the ionised crystals. So before you put the lid on, once you've made that up, get yourself some grease-proof paper, just put it over the top, because iodine breaks down with the metal. It breaks the metal down. Okay, so these caps are made from steel, even though it's got a rubber seal inside. The best thing to do is just put grease-proof paper on and then screw it down. Okay, now you've got to leave that for 24 hours. That won't be ready until this time tomorrow, so it's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That is 1 litre of Lugols Iodine now made. Okay, now getting back to the tests again. Yeah, so what you do is you put a little drip on there, you rub it in, keep an eye on it. If it disappears within an hour or within 6 hours, just keep an eye on it, because what you need to do is have 4 drips of iodine, okay, Lugols iodine, in a glass, and add some water, stir it up, and then down the hatch. Alright, okay, you do that once a day for about 4 to 5 days, then do another test. Okay, do the same test. If it disappears over 6 hours, then reduce the amount from 4 drips down to 2, and then only twice a week. Alright, and just keep an eye on it, so you become in charge of how much you're putting in your body. Don't overdo it, because if you drink too much of this, it'll poison you, it'll kill you. You don't want to do that. I'm not trying to put you off. It's not toxic in that way, but it's okay in small doses. What is Lugols iodine good for? It's good for all kinds of ailments. Okay, you can rub it on your warts. They'll disappear after 2 or 3 days if you continuously use it 2 or 3 times a day for about 3 or 4 days. That'll get rid of all your warts. Drinking it internally, it helps protect the thymus glands. Alright, so it's strengthening your immune system. In the old days, food sources and meats used to have iodine in it. Okay, you can obtain it from sea kelp. Okay, but it's much easier this way if you want to do it that way. If you don't like sea kelp, it's good for killing off viruses. Okay, parasites, and it's good for strengthening the immune system. It's good for dogs. If you've got dogs, all animals are suffering from iodine deficiency. And for dogs, again, you only need to put about 1 to 2 drips of a dropper into their water. Okay, if you can't get it in, if they don't like the taste of it, put a bit in their food, 1 drip. Okay, 1 to 2 drips. That's for a dog, and that's up to about 10 kilograms. So research it first. Cats, it'll probably be about 1 drip. Okay, but you need to do that. Research it, but that's good for animals as too. Alright, so iodine is really good for the immune system. It's good there to protect you and strengthen you, and it'll keep you young and feeling good. I've been taking it on and off now for, I say on and off because sometimes I get lazy, sometimes I forget to take it. Depends on how I feel and how my mood is. But then every time I open the cupboard up, I'll remind myself, ah, there it is, take it, you know. So that's what you want to do, get into the habit of taking it and checking yourself out. Well, I hope that's just about clarified everything and showed you how to make it, okay. Can't really say any more about it. So if you're going to make it, good luck, and happy Lugol researching, because that's what you need to do. Go and have a look. There's plenty of videos out there. I'll probably put a link in to a doctor who's actually prescribing this to some of his patients. So, and he's been doing that for over about 10 years. But anyway, that'll all be in there. So good luck, and I'll probably see you on another video, because I do make my own colloidal silver as well, okay, and it varies. It can go from 5 up to about 50% or whatever, okay, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, take care chaps.